Welcome everybody. This is the Pucks on It postgame show. This is the best postgame show in the city. Yes, I am back to saying that again. We are fired up. We are excited. We are loving life. Forget about Game 4. This is the best game ever. My name is Ryan Schapp. I am going to be your host for the evening. And before Arash says anything, I would like to look for those mentioning this in the chat. First off, thank you everybody for joining us. What is playing?
That's not me. Someone's playing Amy Winehouse right now. And let me tell you,
Amanda's playing Amy Winehouse on the smart speaker.
You know how jacked she is? She's so jacked. She's listening to Amy Winehouse. She needs to get someone to calm down, Ryan. It's JT Miller. 30 seconds left. What are we doing? Lads, ladies, gentlemen, I just want to let you guys know one single thing. I swear to God, I was going home.
No, don't say anything. I'm showing right to the video. Everybody, if anybody was worried about Arash.
I'm not even kidding you. I'm in the alley. I literally just got home. God bless this alley. Seriously.
All right.
You can't screw with the juju. You can't screw with the juju, guys. Wow.
If anybody could hear Amy Winehouse on the post-game show, just let me know. We'd like everybody to give a positive, make sure you're liking this video, hit subscribe. Andy in the chat absolutely fired up about this Arash movement in the alley. There's a lot to get to here. You just said to me before we started going, Canucks win Game 5, 3-2. This was the first game all series. Sorry, this is the first game all playoffs that Rick Tocchet had changed and altered his lines, and it looked like a completely different team out there. The Canucks win late with 30 seconds to go or so, and this was an incredible game. There's a lot to talk about, but Arash said that because he was in the alley, I just got a text from one of our dear longtime listeners in Hawaii. Yes! ! The alley. Arash, this is what? Oh, I don't have it yet. This is what Arash missed. Come on.
Oh my God.
There we go.
It's Pettersson. Regulation time, it looks like. Here is Lindholm looking to shoot at the post. JT Miller scores! .9 remaining.
I yelled audibly, noise forcefully came from my body.
If you need any more evidence that Elias Pettersson listens to the postgame show, ladies and gentlemen, bar none, stop, repeat. This was exactly what we were looking for. And guess what? It has nothing to do with scoring. It has nothing to do with him racking up points and stuff. It's the effort, and it's the creating when he has the puck on his stick. It's the assertiveness that we were looking for 2 nights ago when on this show, I yelled so loud that I scared my girlfriend, and my parents thought I had a heart attack.
All true, all accurate statements. But there's so many more things that happen in this game. Yeah. But it started with a realization, an understanding that Rick Tocchet had that we need to do something for Elias Pettersson. The lineup changes that Arash actually predicted on the day yesterday proved to be correct. And on paper, they looked intriguing. And on the ice, it was incredible. It was a special game tonight. It was a game where I was watching this late going, not counting out the team, not dwelling on it, but being, you know what? I'm okay. I am okay with the outcome of Game 5. I'm okay with how this goes because I know the Canucks are not in dire straits, and they played such a good game. You know, you could lose a tight playoff game. I know that they are in good shape going into Game 6. Well, goddamn if JT Miller and Elias Pettersson and Elias Lindholm, a very unique look late in the game. That's another thing. It was Lindholm, Pettersson, and Miller on the ice in that final 90-second drive that created such a unique play where everything was so tight in the third period. Arash, you had been listening on the radio or listening to Batch on the call, but the teams were getting really tired. They commented on the broadcast that short shifts were a thing, and the Canucks were having a lot of trouble. They weren't able to ring the puck around the behind Calvin Pickard. Any kind of offensive forechecks kind of went to die in that period. So to see that opportunity arise from down by the half circles, down by the face-off dots there, and to create that chance, it came absolutely out of nowhere, and it was fantastic. It was great, and it was all fun.
Yeah, so this was by far the best game that the Canucks have played all playoffs. You look at the lineup changes that Rick Tocchet implemented, and you know, I can take a meme credit for guessing what the lineups might be for this game 5. But we just look at, you know, he could early on in this game, you know, when Ian Cole's making, again, like the juju, the energy, the vibes, the whatever are following Ian Cole around this series, and that he can't. It's just everything is going south for him. We thought, oh man, you know, here's Tocchet. He's putting the Bluger, Garland, Joshua line together again, and then another great move with putting Höglander, Lindholm, Pettersson, and then keeping that top line intact. The fourth line, what a little find with Phil DiGiuseppe, Neil Zaman, and Vasily Podkolzin. Podkolzin, we saw
Arash, are any other Canucks having kids, like maybe on Friday or Saturday morning?
Maybe tonight, pal. Maybe tonight. We'll see. We'll see how many quintuplets are going to be near Vancouver Canucks by the end of this weekend, Ryan. We'll see. Just these little finds, and then all love to Ilya Mikheyev. You know, lots of speed, forecheck, all this stuff, but just an offensive void. And for Rick Tocchet to come out and say, you know, I'm not scared to swing the bat, scratching a $4.75 million player and saying, you know what, yeah, we're gonna put Vasily in. We're just gonna shift stuff around. You could see in the first period where stuff was a little tentative. You know, these newer lines were just trying to find the pace and the rhythm. But once they did, you saw that, you know, this series has been a battle of incremental little battles, incremental changes. It's a little tug of war here, tug of war there. There's a reason why majority of these games, you know, no one's blowing the other team out. It's about this battle of attrition. And I thought for the second half of the first, especially the second period. Wow, the second period. I caught the first half of the third period with my parents. Again, you know, from Nils hitting the post and, you know, just being like, oh, they're inching closer and closer. Just to quickly touch on Pettersson, just night and day. And if it is, you know, memeing about the fact that Halford and Bruff at the start said, let's start a Let's Go PD chant. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the scooter day he had yesterday going through downtown Vancouver. But these are the little, this is what's expected of you, is to make these plays, put effort. We can talk about that insane charging call, which might go down as one of the most absurd calls I've ever seen in my, you know, 20-ish years of hockey. But Ryan, what a game. What a game.
What a special game. I think my biggest takeaway from this game is that, especially in the playoffs, you know, not that it's not over till it's over, but momentum can sway.
Job's not done. As Kobe Bryant said, job's not finished.
No. But you look at the things that you dwell on. You can fix the things that aren't working. You can evolve. I'm not gonna lie. You're stressing about a cap hit of a season that hasn't started yet because the one we're in isn't over yet. And this, to see minimal changes done to give these players the best opportunity to succeed and produce, little tweaks. You saw it in game 4. for Edmonton. You see it in Game 5. It's special, and they are going to have peaks and valleys. And I know that you are not having fun watching games right now. All you want is a Vancouver Canucks to put 3 up in the first and coast, and we can all just breathe, and you can edit your shit posts, and I appreciate that, and that's exactly what you want. But this is the playoffs. This is a best-of-7 series. Games are life or death. Everything's on the line, and the Canucks are up 3-2 in a second round with an opportunity to go to the West Final. Now they're only up 3-2, and that's what you look at. They are up 3-2 on this Edmonton Oilers team. That, man, there's so many storylines that are coming down from this game. But what I love is you saw the human element of hockey with Elias Pettersson. You saw him thrown to the Wolves on the off day to face the media, where everybody drew their own conclusions. Arash drew his, I drew mine, and the folks called into your local AM radio station drew their own. But all that matters with him is the type of player that showed up for Game 5. And the type of player that showed up for Game 5 had confidence, had the wherewithal to make plays, and that player had the drive and the confidence and the guts in the offensive zone to set things up. It doesn't matter the journey they took to get there, but they got there, and it is very cool to see.
Very cool to see. And guys, I throughout this entire series, I did pick Oilers in 6.
Hang on, what?
I picked Oilers in 6, and hey, that's me. That's me about to lose whatever.
Hey. The game's not. It is 3-2 in the series. That's all you got to say.
Kobe said with a straight face, "Job's not done. Why should we be celebrating?" And I think that's the mentality that Canucks fans need to have. If there's a team and 2 players on this earth that can play 35 minutes and win 2 straight games by themselves, you know who they are. That being said, just what a top-down effort from everyone. There's really one lineup, note that probably they could make, and that's Ian Cole. And no, I just not
Ian Cole for anybody.
Yeah, there's no there's no negativity, and it's just when the universe is, like we talked about yesterday, when the universe is just telling you it's not your series. You have Noah Juleson there. Hell, you have Christian Wolanin, and I remind people with, earlier on in this year and last, where Christian Wolanin was, our mini MVP for 16 games. When he came up and he was making little passes, and our minds are blown.
Cute little passes. North
Dakotan teammate of Brock Besser that we met at, honestly, it was the best defenseman in the AHL last year, and can play in these minutes. But yeah, so now Ryan, they have 2 shots to finish this series. We're not even talking about the Demko question, and and maybe that's a big brain thing where if they come and they say, hey, you know what, Thatcher's ready, or Thatcher's like 85%.
There's no reason to go to him.
There's no reason, but at the same time, this is the brilliance of when you get so tight at the end of a series where you can overdo it, right? You can big brain yourself. Mm-hmm. And I hope that they kind of stay pat. Arturs Silovs, man. Just what more can be said about this kid being dropped into this series? He makes the saves that he needs to make, calm, cool, not that many rebounds.
Would you say collected?
Calm, cool, collected, suavemente. I don't know if that's
they call him Cucumber Boy, as in cool as a. Arash, I'm gonna bounce you off right here because we did get a voicemail to the Pucksnet Sauce line, and I'm gonna bring it up right now. I don't know what it is, but let's hear it.
Oh, no.
You can call the Sauce line 604-283-9469 or join us live later. Let's go to the Sauce line.
Yeah, this is Andrew from Vancouver, and all I have to say is, woo! Canucks win, baby!
Is that perhaps maybe?
Yeah, this is Andrew from Vancouver.
Is that almost newly minted father Andrew? Is that the right Andrew we're talking about? You mean to tell me there's more than one Andrew? Oh my God!
Now let's go to our
Guess who's joining us?
our ear to the street. They were at the game tonight. Gita, how are you doing?
We're really good. We can't hear very much because it's very loud. Wait, I'm just gonna take it outside. Order me something fun. Tell them what you think.
Gita's having a great time. Go Canucks!
So as Gita goes to find somewhere quiet, I was gonna text her earlier saying bring your AirPods, but I forgot.
Quiet is like Yaletown. It's really fun. You got like the view of my condo behind me.
I love it. Gita, how are you feeling?
Really embarrassed to even know me.
Oh,
He's not.
We're not embarrassed.
We're not. We walked to the first place. The first place that we walked to had a line, which was the casino. So we're now, and I'm like, Reed, you're just gonna go to work when you feel like it tomorrow. The Canucks just won. Shut up.
Gita, quick question.
You don't have a baby.
Quick question, Gita. How did Evander Kane change clothes that quickly?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. He's already at the Crufts team.
Also wearing his Jets jersey. This is Yaletown.
Oh yeah, it's lively. It's looking lively there, Gita. How are you feeling after that game?
Well, you were getting my live tweet or my live text, and in that 39.9 seconds, I'm like, this didn't happen. I'm just gonna sit down. Everybody else around me, there's photo evidence. I'm looking at someone's Verbata jersey, going, I'm just gonna sit here because I saw this happen 2 nights ago. I'm not sure.
I do have a photo of a Verbata jersey, and you made the right call. Here are some of your comments earlier. Can I tackle a ref? I don't know how to wave a towel. Elias Lindholm is way hotter than Tyler Seguin, or less hotter. Poll question. And something about you having 10 ounces of Sauv Blanc. So needless to say, it was a good night for you.
Oh yeah, it was. What a great way to spend Mother's Day.
Here's Gita sitting down looking at a Verbata jersey instead of cheering.
This feels like a throwback to my life.
Oh, you're having a great time, and I don't know what was your what was the heart rate like? How stressed out were you during that game?
I think, like I said, I was having a really hard mom day that I didn't eat today. That's a story for Monday. And I was mad, and Reed's like, let me give you a bottle, let me give you a glass of wine and you go shower. And so I had a glass of wine. We parked by the Strathcona Brewery, and then we walked and we shared a cider.
Hell yeah.
And then immediately upon entering Rogers Arena, I ordered myself a 10-ounce glass of Sauvignon Blanc. And so I didn't have food up until that point. I just had a real serious mom day. So by the time the game started, I was very numb to anything that was about to happen. The second period did not even happen for me.
Oh, Gita, I love it. I love the journey you had today. I love the journey that we all had for those 60 minutes of play. And
I was here for I have big plans to do properly for whatever those Go Petey Ghost cheers were during warm-up.
Yeah.
But we missed them, as as it happens. But I sat there and explained to Reed why we were cheering. We got to cheer for a man who was on a scooter on the Burrard Street.
Oh man, Gita.
I'm a Vancouverite today.
Hell yeah, you are. You're not a snooty district resident.
And we are celebrating at the Yaletown Craig.
You're at the keg, just like Jeremy Roenick.
Yes!
Okay, Gita, we'll let you go back inside and eat and console Reed and cap off at a special night. And I'm so glad you joined us in this fashion. It means a lot.
Okay, I can't wait to listen to you guys later.
Nighty night. Love you.
I love you too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so.
I really hope Reed gives her a water. She's having fun, but hydrate, Queen. Hydrate.
Having a mom day. Having a 10-ounce mom day.
She absolutely deserves it. What a beauty. Oh, Keita.
Okay,
Amazing.
let's talk about something fun, Arash.
The draft lottery?
Let's talk about this.
Okay. Just
I realize I have no sound here, so we can keep going.
no, it's fine. It's like
So let me tell you about a guy named Nick Cronwall. Okay, so there's this guy Cronwall who was really dangerous, but celebrated because he was friends with Steve Yzerman, and he did this basically every single time, and everybody loved him for it and celebrated it, and nobody ever called a penalty for it. And it's low key a super low key dangerous play that everybody does and celebrates, but nobody wants to admit that it's dangerous. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the worst penalty you've ever seen in your life?
Well, the thing is, everyone during this time was talking about Rule 42. And then we can talk about Rule 43. Ryan, give me a second. Can you vamp for a second?
Yeah. So I love this call, and I love listening to Ray Ferraro brought it up, and Ray was questioning the stinkiness of the officiating tonight, and it was suspect on both sides. Everybody had gripes tonight, which is a rare case, but they're bringing, oh, you can't jump. No, you can't jump. If you were to take that rule so literally, then yeah, you can jump in any situation ever. But a charge is to prevent you from jumping, to impale your opponent, to bring more pain and suffering to them. But it was one of the dumbest things I have ever seen. And even Greg Millen made the good joke that is a stationary charging call or whatever. And Ray Ferraro tweeted out his thoughts, and then 1,000 Oilers fans came back and gave him screenshots of the rule books, and he said, "Hey, thank you very much. I just know that I've never been called for that, and I've never seen that called in 40 plus years of playing or covering hockey." And yeah, it was one of the dumber things I've ever seen. It came in the midst of a Canucks power play, which made it even in the offensive zone, and yeah, you could make the thinnest of claims. You could make that this is that is a charge because he left his feet, but he is bracing a guy, barreling for him to lay him out. I have no gripe with that. It is arguably the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and I think that everybody in this chat texted or was texted somebody saying that is the worst call we've ever seen, because it absolutely was. I thought the officiating was absolutely god awful for the majority of this game. That being said, the Vancouver Canucks and their penalty kill, they shut down the Edmonton Oilers. 5 power plays, 5 successful kills, an absolute positive and a half. To see that shutdown effort, and as the power plays went on, you saw it with the first. You saw it, I want to say, by the third one, because they had their 3 penalties in the first period they took. The Canucks, how quickly we forget that the penalties throughout this game were not smart ones, and they were not strong ones, as a lot of soft calls were made. Pius Suter got that call 45 seconds into the game against Calvin Pickard. And, Pius Suter's trying to go around him. Calvin Pickard, I think, almost kind of gets out of the way, but does a little bit of an arm flail, so they call that. Canucks kill that off. 9 minutes later, Quinn Hughes takes the absolute dumbest call a hockey player can take, which is a puck over glass, and they absolutely kill that. 4 minutes later, Ian Cole takes a hold against Dylan Holloway, and they kill that. Well, there was a stretch, this as you're complaining and you're worried about the officiating, as you're worried about the officiating, you could have a silver lining that the Vancouver Canucks were perfect. They were killing it. They were shutting out 97 and 29, and it was outstanding just to watch. So while I think that the officiating was the drizzling shits, and it was, the fact that the Canucks killed it off, that's a silver lining. I'm not saying it's going to be anything to hang your hat on, but I'm stoked. I'm stoked at what we saw, but awful officiating tonight and soft calls. And what was really strange is that they were taking the Canucks took those three straight penalties in the first period, and you all kind of chuckled if you'd watched this type of game before that. You've watched these type of games before, and you knew that, okay, here comes 3 or 4 makeup calls for the Canucks in their way. And goddamn, if it wasn't the case, Fogle took that interference call against Garland, which could have been a little bit more. That was in a very dangerous spot. Vander Kane takes his slash against Zadorov, and then yes, the strangest play ever in the history of hockey happens. But they got their penalties right back. Arash, your thoughts on officiating tonight?
Thank you for vamping. My bird had a little bit of a night fright, and I think he was very eager.
He's a bird.
He was very eager.
Just put a sheet over the cage.
But JT Miller doesn't score 30 seconds every day, pal. Come on now. Just in terms of the officiating today, I think it kind of went both ways. It was incredibly inconsistent, and I don't know. Did you touch on the Rule 42-43 thing?
Who cares? I am not.
Well, it's really funny. So on Twitter, people were talking about Rule 43, which is basically, the idea of charging, and that if you jump in, it's a charging call. Well, the Rule 42 says that, and then Rule 43 right after it, the checking from behind rule, and I'll read this. Checking from behind. A check from behind is a check delivered on a player who is not aware of the impending hit, therefore unable to protect or defend himself, and contact is made on the back part of the body. When a player intentionally turns his body to create contact with his back, no penalty shall be assessed.
It's a dumb call. It's
a dumb
arguably
call.
The dumbest thing I've ever seen.
One of the stupidest calls, yeah.
You couldn't literally think, okay, he watched him jump, and maybe you could understand the thought process, but that is where the thought process ends with that stupid thing. Fraser Valley Bricks in the chat. We have that ready to go.
It's amazing. He
rules.
Just one of the greatest baby face turns I've ever seen from anyone in the history of the city of Vancouver. Just crazy. It's amazing.
Todd in the chat. My life savings for a mic on Zadorov to hear his chirping. That's an intelligent man, that Nikita Zadorov. I also want to hear what he says because he's probably very poignant and cutting with his comments.
Well, there was that amazing little kind of wah thing he did to Evander Kane tonight. I just thought they matched Edmonton in the physicality department. They got their forecheck going, and it just a great game. It was everything you were looking for, and it was so funny because from the beginning we were like, oh god,
let me talk
about season again.
Let's talk about our thoughts going through this game. Because I have gotten an insight into how you are taking these playoff games, and it reminds me of a younger, more intense version of how I would consume games, of just pure stress through and through, and not being able to find the positives until the buzzer. But what were you like going through this game today?
It's been really hard to keep an even keel and trying to, remember to breathe and everything. Ryan, it's so hard trying to deliver kind of impartial views on the game of hockey, especially when it revolves around a team that we're kind of, we're born into. So trying to watch the game, and when there's an Oilers score, not throwing our Bud Light at the screen and being like flipping our tables, but being like, oh, okay, no, that's hockey. That's hockey. And so lately, just for the third periods, I've just been, going to radio, and just for my sake. I'm 34. I'm just trying to keep myself calm. I don't know about you.
Two quick notes in the chat. My sister is in here. Another Amanda. I was really hoping for Arash's bird. Was named Zadorov. Well, I'm going to have a conversation with Katie this week to have the name change. And Todd Smith in the chat. Garland was outstanding. He is a little magician. I am shocked. I was watching Connor Garland on the boards watching him on the boards withstand or evade checks, being smart with the puck at all times, and just always generating and always creating. I'm aghast. Yeah, I remember I was listening to a YouTube video of Brandon Perlini talk about how every game he played with Connor McDavid, he did something that left him in awe. I'm not saying I'm in awe with Connor Garland, but I'm pretty damn close to being in awe with Connor Garland. My going through this game, I felt pretty calm. I felt very even keeled going into it. Once it got going, I was very comfortable with how they played. I was very comfortable with what they were doing. The early goal it didn't really concern me too much. And there was some key dumb guy stuff that happened. Like Carson Soucy goes and he scores his. Carson Soucy goes and ties it up for Vancouver right here.
His stick, Myers put it in the slot, knocked down, a chop at it by Putt Burns, and Soucy scores.
The idea of getting some secondary scoring just it put my mind at ease. Then of course the fact that he made a really dumb guy pinch where he, I think of the old wrestling
the
term.
Effect. Soucy giveth and Soucy giveth away, or taketh away.
I just thought of the old wrestling analogy from Michael PSA's. Hell, you can't get half pregnant, and he had his opportunity to pinch, and he started, and then he stopped. And then, goddamn, he kept going. And I'm like, well, that's not good. And that whole sequence of the pinch, the fumble, the losing a step, the 2-on-1, felt like it took about 5 minutes. And Amanda and I were sitting there going, yeah, that's not good. No, you can't do that. And they score. Like, it lasted forever. But there comes a point for me with watching a team I like or a team I am emotionally invested in, and there are two of them, and it's if they're playing well and they are competing, I'm fine. It's when they are being outmatched, outclassed, or just not playing to their potential that I will take it personally in some psychotic way. So while I was stressed, I definitely was stressed out for the third period, and I could feel my little pulse going there the whole time, and it was high as a kite. I enjoyed watching the game tonight. The Canucks were the better team. The Canucks made the changes they needed to make, and it was cool, man. It's what we want out of this team.
I look at it at Edmonton's perspective. The only thing Chris Knoblauch can do now is just McDavid Draisaitl. So in terms of a chess match, when I look at one coach and what he has and one coach and what he has, it's just Rick Tocchet made his move and checked him Chris Knoblauch on his moves, and it just seemed that there's a comfort there's a comfort there as the game went on for the Canucks to establish their forecheck and really get things going, and really for the second period, what a second period that was. And so now I'm thinking about going into Game 6. You're going back to Edmonton. Not a easy place to play in.
Canucks are 1-1 in that spot, pal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, pal. Okay, bud. We look at the special teams tonight. The Canucks penalty kill was great. Are you going to have that going through 2 more games. I don't think so, and I don't think you can take 5 minor penalties. One being a bit avoidable from Quinn Hughes' standpoint, where it's a puck over the glass penalty. So if you can rein that in and try to, unless, hey, listen, hopefully we get Steve Kazari in Game 6. I don't know. Maybe
No, we need
Kelly
French
Sullivan
guys.
gets him. Oh, we get French guys.
We need more French guys. We joked about that in Game 4.
Oh, pal, more French guys. Hashtag more French guys. Yeah, I'm just excited, and they have 2 chances here to, proverbially knock out the Edmonton Oilers, and what that would mean for this franchise and this team and this organization from where it was a year and a half ago. What it means for the Edmonton Oilers, with Leon Draisaitl with a year remaining, Connor with 2. What this means for the third round, where they're going to face either the Dallas, if knock on wood, either
What
one
are
of
you
these teams
doing?
faces Dallas or.
Can you go back like 20 minutes ago? The work is not done yet. We're talking about Game 5. You're talking about when the season's over and Leon Draisaitl has.
I'm talking about either team. I'm talking about either team. You want me to talk about the Canucks?
Yes.
How are we going to figure? Okay, Philip Hronek. What are we going to do with Philip Hronek? I don't.
No,
think
I want to talk
Philip
about
Hronek
Game 5. There's so much left to talk about in this game.
I want to talk about Game 2.
That game sucked.
It did. That's all we need to talk about. Let's talk about Game 5. Way better game.
Hang on. Let's go back to the sauce line. Again, if you want to leave a voicemail and not stay up all night, 604-283-9469. Nice. Let's go to Roger.
This is Roger R. Smith calling from Kitimat. The officiating tonight was just terrible. Like the Canucks just kept chipping away, tied it up, and just had that feeling someone was going to score, and it happened to be JT Miller. Silovs looked great. Pettersson looked a lot better. And, I just have a lot more hope going into Game 6. Go Canucks, go.
Huge, Raj.
He said it. He said it himself. Yeah, I think the key story. Let's talk about Arturs Silovs for a second. He makes 21 saves tonight. This kind of reminded me of Game 3 a bit. The Canucks winning despite being outshot by 20 or so. So it's the Canucks that are peppering Calvin Pickard. I didn't have a moment tonight where I was worried about Silovs. I have not had a moment.
Yeah, crazy.
I have not had a moment in all series watching that goalie and go, I can't think of bad goals. I can't think of moments where he's frantic or out of position. He had his big ball moment where he does his poke check in Game 3, and just like he is so, it's comfortable. It's a non-thought. It's like having snow tires on the car when you're driving through a pass. You don't have to. It's not something to worry about.
Well, it was crazy because I also was talking to some hardcore Canucks fans, and yes, they're from HF boards. Sorry, we were talking. This is, you're kind of due for you may be due for a weaker game from Arturs Silovs, and maybe this is the inner Canuck in us talking, where we're thinking, oh man, we're due. It's going to be a thing. Like, how can we? Every time that we've counted out this specific teams, and every time, our third string goalie or our second string goalie comes in, and we think it's going to be a 9-0 game in the playoffs, and we're Eeyoring a bit. This team even in losses, I find like they put an effort and they get things done. And I think at one point, the meme of like, just tune in the last 5 minutes. Just tune in the last 5 minutes, and they'll figure something out and they'll pick something up. Man, you take all the money that you're going to give Casey DeSmith as a backup, that's 1.9 or however $1 million. You give that to Arturs Silovs and be like, hey man, it's the backup job is yours. Think he's deserved it. And how exciting, I think, partly for the Vancouver Canucks fans, where Thatcher Demko, he's a Vezina nominated goaltender. He's one of our MVPs this season. Finally, just having a breakout year. And the big question was, well, okay, what's after? And we're seeing what's after. It's the Latvian prince himself. Forget about the Prince of Pomegranate. It's the Prince of Latvia. Like this kid is the real deal. And
he's no longer Eddie Lack, as which I cockily proclaimed on the podcast maybe less than a month ago. And yeah, he is. And Arash, he also let's talk about why he's playing. Silovs has played the majority of the playoffs because Thatcher Demko got hurt, and the argument can be made, or the investigation can take place about him being overplayed, them being too reliant on Thatcher Demko, and some of the best teams in the NHL and in the playoffs right now have a 1A and a 1B or some sort of platoon, and having a Demko Silovs platoon sounds pretty solid going forward. I would like to sign up for that.
Yeah, and if they can go and find, just go and find a reliable third string goal. And Nikhil Tolopilo, like, again, we'll see what he turns into. But if they want to go and kind of hedge their bets, I'm sure they can go find a third string guy that just in case something happens. But now you have the insurance. That was one of the biggest worries with Thatcher Demko is like, his knees and his hips and, these things are happening. Now you have this insurance that, okay, if something does happen with Thatcher, you can go to a kid who in the brightest of lights and the most pressure this franchise has faced since, maybe, 13 years ago. He's able to rise to the occasion.
Yep.
And I'm going to be really happy when we see Arturs Silovs jerseys, and David Quadrelli is going to go and he's going to take his lap around the city because he deserves to. Absolutely, hats off to David Quadrelli
for twice a day, right? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, that
blind
kid,
squirrel's going to find that
kid
nut.
does the work. That kid,
Arash, Todd Smith here in the chat. I was worried that Cole was going to score on Silovs all night. A quick word on Ian Cole before we go to PDG.
Yeah, I would just guys, like I understand he's there because he's part of the penalty kill and he's a vital role on it. He's just making little plays that just aren't working, and he's feeling pressure, and it's no disservice. I mean, Tampa Bay Lightning fans mentioned this last year, where it's like, he's 36 now and trying to manage, those minutes of playing, especially against such a fast forechecking team like the Edmonton Oilers. Maybe maybe you don't screw with anything and you just say, hey, whatever, or think about, moving him out and just moving him or just scratching him and being like, hey, we got 2 shots of the can here. Give him a day of rest.
Yeah.
And if, if for game 6 Canucks aren't successful, for a game 7, hey, you can go to a rested guy who has experience in big pressure situations like that, and that's a move maybe Rick Tocchet can look at. But beyond that, they survive. I mean, Ian Cole has been one of the Edmonton Oilers' best players.
I'd have no qualms about him. Also, my sister in the chat refers to you as Prince of Potatoes. That's just comedy right there.
I just love potatoes. I mean, they're great.
Who doesn't love potatoes? I would love it if, like, I kind of feel like Tocchet, every player is banged up, but he went out of his way to say, hey, Mikheyev's banged up. He's dealing with something. And to not throw him under the bus saying, hey, we need a change and you're not doing stuff. I could see something similar with Ian Cole, but behind the scenes just going to him like, man, any possible offensive chance is bouncing off your ass. You need a breather. Just give him the Wayne Gretzky thing. Go eat a burger. Go for a walk. Go have a Big Mac. Fucking figure it out. But
they're $4, as Ryan mentioned to me today.
Eating like a damn king this postseason run.
Let me tell you, I've been slandering fast food prices for so long, but McDonald's. beyond some topical political things, $4 for a Big Mac, not too bad.
In the first intermission, in my notes, I was gonna write my notes of like what I saw in the first period, and I was gonna say like, oh, awful. I mean, what did I write here? I wrote awful officiating. Calvin Pickard left. Shocker. Believe it or not, I needed to write that down to remember that, and that was before the Elias Pettersson charge.
Oh my God.
But my biggest takeaway was that there was very little screen on Carson Soucy's goal. There was some Oilers that were in position. No Canucks were in front of him. And I was like, this is a guy that let in a goal with, a minor screen in a big moment like Pepper the kid and Pepper the grandpa. And then I was going to say that PD and PDG looked noticeable and special out there, and they were going to do something. And then I didn't write it, and I didn't tell anybody, but I was going to say that, yeah, they looked special, and they were going to produce offensively. And then this cowboy comes straight from the maternity ward and does this.
Yeah, Draisaitl brought the puck in, so that's why the wave off by the linesman there. Oh, giveaway! Giuseppe scores! And a fourth line goal for Vancouver!
Oh, hey, Maroon. Oh, let me tell you something about this Phil Di Giuseppe. All right, it's like, just like Mama is the Cavadil, the Capacol. He's right there. He's a new father. He's coming in. All right, Maroon. I tell you, Ryan, you couldn't sauce a backhand if you're back in Brooklyn and Mama's making
You couldn't
the
what?
pie. You couldn't sauce a. Every time with the transitions with you. I'm just trying to make an Italian joke. Yeah, God, I gotta watch this runs again.
Here's
just amazing by PDG.
It always is the case. If I was an NHL player, if I was an NHL coach or a GM, I'd sit all my fellas down, and I'd say, if you're coming here and you're thinking about having kids, we need them to be. We need you to be expecting during the playoffs, because they arrive on no sleep, all adrenaline, and they absolutely go balls out. And Phil Di Giuseppe looked like, I forget who made the comparison. I don't want to steal things, but they said he looked like might have been Matt Sakaris. He looked like the Phil Di Giuseppe of the first 10 games of the season, where everyone went, where the hell did this guy come from? He will play with JT Miller for the rest of his life. He looked special. He looked unique. He had a lot of looks. He was very noticeable in all the right reasons. And then, as Arash pointed out, here's him speaking with TNT in the postgame show.
Like I said in the interview, my wife's been so strong, and they've been battling the last 9 months. So, proud of him. He's in this world, and brought me some luck tonight.
That's the human side. That's the real side of hockey. And they asked JT Miller about it on the CBC or on the Sportsnet postgame, and even he was like I am so happy for them. It was by all means a difficult pregnancy, and he was very touched by the journey that they had, and to have that child and to have that to just be fueled by that, it's incredibly special, and it's so heartfelt to see.
Yeah, it's I think we really do get mixed up in the numbers and the stats and the fandom of it, and that realizing that when these players aren't wearing the jersey, they're just normal people going through their things in their lives, and so much of stuff is discussed as hockey being the distraction, but sometimes the hockey and real life can meld together, and I think you saw that tonight, where someone and his partner were battling for 9 months, and were able to bring a new life into this world, and he steps on the ice with that kind of opportunity and that kind of perspective. It livens you up, and it raises you up in that aspect. So great game by PDG. That fourth line, don't touch it. Just roll with it. You have a fourth line that can bring the jam, and looking forward for more. unintelligible Italian noises by PDG.
Arash, I was watching. I think I was watching Steve Dangle. I was watching a Steve Dangle podcast earlier this week, and they were raving about. I think it was Adam Wilde joked like, or didn't joke. He referred to him as potential Conn Smythe Trophy winner Brock Besser, or like he's having. And I was like, "Fuck, these Toronto shitheads don't know what they're talking about."
Were you
Brock
about to do your
Besser.
Phil? Were you about to do your Phil Kessel voice?
Fuck off!
Oh, fuck off! I swear to fucking God, he takes coke away. I'm gonna fucking quit.
And I'm watching him today. I go, God damn it! God, he looks great out there. He's so he's creating opportunities on the half boards. There's no panic in these guys. There are moments where they just have the puck and it's on a string, and they have that confidence in themselves. And like, man, I love watching Brock Besser play. Here's one thing that we joked about earlier, and you mentioned the human aspect of the game. Here's Elias Pettersson, I believe on his off day, and that's him spotted on the Burrard Street Bridge. He's riding a scooter in the bike lane, which is nice, and that's how you should be doing it.
He went and got a bagel. He got a Siegel's bagel.
Who doesn't love a Siegel's bagel? It's the best in the business.
I could go for Ryan, after the show, you want to go for a bagel?
You know, if I didn't have... Honestly, if they had won the game tonight, if they won the series tonight, we could have gone to Siegel's to celebrate.
Oh, man,
but
what a time to be alive.
I'm noticing, look how he's standing on the scooter. His feet are beside one another. That's not...
I've never ridden one of those scooters before, so I don't know if it has on. I just, I have a 2003
We gotta get you on
Golf
one.
Ryan. Sorry, pal. I just, I don't know. Yeah, just to quickly touch on PD again. Like, that's what the market was looking for. That's what people were looking for, and I think you saw. I mean, good. I'll say this: good on the Canucks market tonight, where they channeled the frustration. They had a day where they could harp and yell, and we saw, the last post-game show, I got quite heated, just because we weren't seeing the effort and these things. The Canucks market had that, and then today, from dead on in the morning, shout out to the Halford and Bruff for the morning show. I was even pessimistic. I'm like, I don't know if that's... I don't know. I'm just like, come on now. We don't need to. And guess what? I'm not right 100% of the time, and I'm a fucking lunatic. So it had the effect, and we saw that
the kid needed it.
The kid needed it. He really did. And you saw just a great game. And you know what? It's not like he didn't have 2 goals and 5 assists tonight, or whatever it was, or whatever it is. But you saw him physically engaged, getting into board battles, making plays. Like, there were these little plays he made in the first and second period where, he's coming back to retrieve. And a lot of the Canucks defensemen tonight, beyond Quinn Hughes and maybe sometimes Philip Hronek, they would just, on their backhands, they would rim it. They would just rim, and then it would just give the puck away to the appointment for the Edmonton Oilers. And Petey, when he's the one that's actually coming to do the retrieval, he does this beautiful thing where he'll retrieve, look like he's skating, and then he does a stutter step to stop, which screws up the forechecker's rhythm.
I love it.
Are like, I'm trying to, he's going back, he's not. And just, it's literally a half-second move, but it gives him enough time to make an outlet pass or chip away, that it's not just like, okay, we're dumping it into the neutral zone and then, okay, let's try and get established a forecheck. It's like, okay, we're keeping possession. My father would be so proud. Keeping possession. Who would have thought keeping possession, the Russian 5, Ryan? We got to learn more of that in today's hockey. I don't know. I'm just saying, great on Petey tonight. What a rebound game by him. Truly.
This introduces a brand new segment on the Pucks and Net post-game show. And as I just said in the comments, if you haven't liked this video yet, please do, and please hit subscribe. We're going to open up the phone lines in a little bit. We'd love to hear from a couple listeners, a couple viewers. That's coming up in a moment, but this is our brand new segment that I'm introducing on the spot, and I'll make Arash sweat. It's called Texts or Conversations with Our Fathers During the Game. My dad texted me at 9:24, and he said, "Looks like they're playing in all periods tonight." I said, "Stressful, but good game." He gave me a smiley face and a thumbs up emoji. And then he said, "I hope it's not a repeat of the last game. Maybe I just jinxed it when they scored, and then they were looking to call it for something."
It was,
And
wasn't it great? Wasn't it great when Miller scored, and like even Miller and PD looked, and they're like, "Is it okay? Is it okay? Like, can we celebrate? Are you gonna fucking call it back?"
I love that you brought that up. I want to go back to the goal because the hilariousness is Elias Pettersson on this goal. So this is the broadcast feed, so look closely, but he is just comedy gold at this moment.
To finish the regulation time, it looks like. Here is Lindholm looking to set up the post. Stacey Miller scores!
He goes to play it because he doesn't know it's in. There's like, wait, what?
Oh man, what a time! What a time! What a time!
Yeah, Todd, I love it. Peter, well, now we're on to Peter, was on the doorstep ready to bang on it again. I'll hit it in as many times as you need, coach.
It's crazy.
Rash, how's the bird over there?
I was gonna go check on him. Do you want to vamp for a bit?
Yeah, of course.
Just give me like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna go check.
Yeah, let me look at this. Oh, gang, it's a special time in our lives. I like what's happening in the chat here. Andy L, absolutely be prepared to continue the play. Follows up with until the whistle goes. And that's absolutely correct. Just seeing him, like he didn't hear a whistle. He's not thinking it's already in. And I think after that opportunity with Niels Hoglander, where he celebrated like it was over. Like if you looked when Hoggy hit Pickard and then hit Pickard, bounces off Pickard, hits the post, and he had his hands up, ready to celebrate. And I think not that that's a bad thing because we all looked at it like it was going to score, that it was already going in. But I think just he wanted no, we are making sure that this one is going in tonight. Back to the chat, my sister. Dad usually only texts me that he's coming to visit after he gets his hair cut. This is true. A quick little Abbotsford aside. What do we got here? It was also super nifty to hear Batch admit to thinking it went in 2 different times. From what we were watching live, like it was we're kind of as it's happening, you can't really see it in front of you. And yeah, I kind of thought like, did it go in? And you're looking at the replay, like, did it bounce in and out? But no, it was just that those kids wanted that goal so bad. And it paid off. And it was, again, this has been a very special night. This has been a night where the better team won. This is a night where the Vancouver Canucks won, and this is a night where the Vancouver Canucks get to go play an elimination game.
Crazy.
And it's very cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Arash, I think that we'll wrap up the audio portion of this.
Gotcha.
So for everybody staying in the chat, everybody watching us on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, we're going to take a couple calls in a minute. We're just going to say goodnight to our audio listeners. So final score, Canucks 3, Edmonton Oilers 2. It's the Phil DiGiuseppe game. It is the Elias Pettersson game. It is once again, unfortunately, the Ian Cole game. But we will be back for the post-game show on Game 6 on Saturday. So thank you very much for listening.
We're still here. Don't worry.
Yeah, nobody go. We're
here.
not going anywhere.
Nobody go. We're just stopping our audio.
We're hitting stop on our local recordings. And we're leaning a little back. All right.
Go back. It's time. This is the Red Shoe Diary section of the post game show, Ryan. Maybe a little Cavassier, a little cigar time. You know what I'm talking about, baby boy?
Absolutely. And
it's been man, what a night it's been. Like, just from the storylines of waking up today, and I think everyone was kind of feeling a bit on edge, and we saw, especially with like another 2-2 game, you saw. Listen, the job's not done. Job's not done. Job's not done. And I think if we keep an even keel about this, win or lose, guys, it's been a fantastic year. But you really do want to win. Just keeping an even keel. I know it must be so oddly terrifying for a lot of our listeners and watchers and everything as well.
What are you worried about?
Well, it's the balance, right? It's balance between trying to not let emotions of fandom kind of overtake you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, wanting to be that fan, right?
Be happy.
I think the thing, well, no, you can't. Well, yeah, you can be, right? But we're both historians of this fan base, where we always believe that nothing good is ever going to happen.
Hey.
And whenever things seem to be going well, we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, and taking things game by game. Taking things moment by moment, especially with the pressure that comes with playing in this market. You can see it. You can see, and I think that's the one thing that makes this fan base so polarizing, is that the pressure not only gets to the players, but the pressure also gets to the fans. The self-imposed pressure and misery that we sometimes put on ourselves. So for a night like tonight, I'm really happy for everyone. You get two cracks to make the Western Conference final here, and hopefully they can pull it off, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, we have 2 calls on the hopper. Matt Kerr, your device is not connected, so I'm gonna bounce you and then reconnect. Let's go to Kaysen.
Oh,
do you know this character?
Oh yeah, this man is saying. Do you know how many pizzas he's bought at my shop?
Kaysen, do you also work in? Are you the individual behind the sandwiches at the grocery store in Deep Cove?
No, he's not. Ryan.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm from Surrey, the one with the first what do you call this? Pomegranate. Yeah. Oh, there's my girlfriend.
Hell yeah!
What's up, kids? How you doing?
I met Kaysen. I dropped off a shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Apologies. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. We just came back from we've been watching the post game, and then we just came back from the North Van viewing party by the shipyards, and
nice.
That's tandem one right there, man.
Shout out to North Van for doing it right. That shipyard part. I mean,
how
the
was
TV was actually pretty small there. I don't know if the
TV was probably small, but like everybody was just clamoring there. Like it was just like
nice.
I think the first period there was like a little bit of people. Like the people are like the group, like the first people who are like in there, they're like by the close to the TV, and then as soon as the game goes, like the whole area is filled up. Yeah. So.
Jason, how you feeling after Game 5? What was your biggest? What stood out the most for you from the Canucks tonight?
Man, I mean, like once we got there, Edmonton scored. So we're like,
of course.
Oh no, this is gonna be a long night. But then, Susie scored, and then he made a mistake. So it's kind of like, oh no, I don't think it's gonna go in our way. And then the new dad energy. Come on, man. PDG. PDG, man. He's like, that's like, obviously, like, I just heard from the whole story about them with having their new kid, and I haven't gone into it, but it was a blessing for them, obviously. So it's kind of like they took the page off like Fred VanVleet from the Raptors,
I love it.
Yeah. And then it was just stressful from that point on. It's like,
we were all stressed out.
We were like, clamoring for like something to happen. Like, and then again, like last minute of the game, someone scored with the Canucks, like, and it's JT Miller, and we're trying to do the JT Miller chant in the area, because the one in the TV says, "Oh hey, they're just saying JT Miller again." That's like the bit, like like what you said, Ryan. Like what do you call this? Like the best babyface turn in the history of this city.
Case
so many.
Listen,
so many
I couldn't
baby face turns.
I couldn't agree more. I'd love to chat with you a bit longer, but we got another fellow on the line.
I got one more question though.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So Coach Tockett says that Demko is improving with his health right now. So maybe if he gets cleared in Game 6, do you think he should be the backup or he should start?
Oh, the bat. Oh, ooh, that's a really good question.
Great question.
I kind of believe like we should still ride Silovs till we win the series, or like if he wins the series, then Demko can start in the conference finals.
Yeah, I like that.
If we lose, if Demko's cleared and we lose, no matter what, we're gonna go all in, and Demko's gonna start Game 7.
I like that. Well, I will say that you don't put Tadej Demko in until you have a reason to take Arturs Silovs out. But I love the idea of him being on the bench supporting him. Kason, thank you so much for supporting our show and calling in tonight. You have a great night.
Yeah. By the way, I got the shirt here.
Yeah, you
the shirt
do.
the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Pop
buddy.
that
There
mother
we go.
on.
The shirt
This
this
guy's
Saturday, so it's gonna be.
You got to keep it on.
Yeah.
All right, bud. I'll let you go.
All right. Thank you.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Mr. Matt Kerr, you specified that you were happy. Is that still the case?
Oh yeah, like it was in reference to Arash, saying that like it's tough to be happy as a Canucks fan, because it is. Like that's fair. It's a fair thing to say. But I feel like I've been trying to live life by like almost a stoic mantra these days, where I'm seeing stuff that amazes me every single time these Canucks play. Today was very chaotic for me. I only got to watch the third period, but it was incredible. And it's like, at the beginning of the year, if anyone told you we would get here, you'd be like, that's incredible, So I'm taking every day as it comes. And also, as a fan who's engaging with Edmonton fans, mostly online on Twitter, I've developed a mind state where I am impervious to information I don't like. Like Canucks get outshot 40-7 in Game 4. I made that up, but also I'm gonna forget it in 10 seconds from now because it's information my brain doesn't like. It doesn't feel like it's helping the Canucks win. That information's gone.
I love it.
I don't need to retain it. All I retain is that, wait, there's 2 games left. If we win either one of them, we're on to the conference final. And one of them's in Rogers Arena, and it is a hostile environment. We're throwing trash on the ice.
The trash
lower
shower.
Bowl, the business people have lost their mind in the lower bowl. They're fighting each other. Canucks fans are biting each other's arms off. It's like The Walking Dead in there.
My favorite.
I don't know. I don't know if it's true.
My favorite bit was when the PD penalty got called, and then fans start throwing stuff on the ice and chanting "Ref, you suck." And there was one Oilers fan in the HF Boards Discord who's like, "Oh God!" And now they're chanting "Refs, you suck." And I mean, what is this? I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like every fan base of every single sport does this. And they replied with, "No, they don't." And how do you argue?
The problem is that I would need a supercut that could last years of Edmonton Oilers fans doing the same thing. Like from the beginning of the Oilers franchise to today, there's probably literally, if not years, months of footage of "Ref, you suck" at whatever, Rogers Center currently, but whatever arenas they've had.
Like, have you been to the state of New York? Have you watched any Knicks basketball ever?
Well, it's tough because like earlier in the series, they're telling us we give up too easily, and then later in the series, they're they're like these
Why don't you-
fans
why
are
don't
too
you
crazy.
do-
When things go their way, when things don't go their way, they're too crazy. Like how are you supposed to referee a game where the fans think you suck?
I'd just like to chime in two things. Arash brought up the Knicks, and that's the reason why I bought a color TV, so I could watch the Knicks play basketball. That's a Sugar Hill Gang reference for all you kids in the chat.
Oh my God!
I
Ryan.
thought that was just an honest to God thing you were saying.
Secondly,
I was like, is the second
outlandish.
half of this show going to be Ryan talking about how great Jalen Brunson is? Like, is he going to talk about, oh, it's the greatest free agent signing in the history of free agent signing?
I gotta
Ryan
break
looks
it.
great considering he's 58 years old.
Yeah.
I gotta let everybody know that I swayed the momentum for the Canucks tonight. I turned the tides for Vancouver because I changed my outfit. And I put on my stag party only Bret Hart shorts, and I put them on. I put them on in the second intermission. See?
Oh yeah.
People have to pay for this content. People like literally pay for this content.
And
You're
it
getting
worked.
it for free.
And it worked.
You know, I really strongly believe in the "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" model of fandom, and that everything you do at home and at the stadium directly affects the outcome of the game.
Well, Amanda was trying to put Stevie's dog jersey on during the third period, and I said, no, take it off right now. And then she had like two legs, like her front legs were in it, and I'm like, I'll get this thing off of that. And so that's the smart thing you got to do, gang.
But yeah, the most important thing for me jumping on here was to remind everyone that you don't need to be a proper fan. You don't need to obey the rules. What you have to do is enjoy what you're watching, and when they try to hit you with facts that you don't like, ignore those facts. You know?
Are you talking about the Republican approach?
No, I'm talking about the protect the mind approach. Maybe I don't know who these Republicans even are that you speak of. They sound like wise people if they protect their own minds.
Matt, while you're in here, can you say hello to my mother?
Hello.
I didn't have Matt taking his conservative party swerve turn live on stream on my bingo card, but here he is. Are you gonna Matt? Just quick question: how are you gonna fix BC United?
Oh my God, that sounds like a bad soccer team.
Oh, dude, Kevin Falcon couldn't manage a Denny's, dude. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh, I gotta bring it up. A good friend of mine, they might be in this chat. They sent me a creeper shot from Victoria this week of Kevin Falcon at a Starbucks, and he had a Canucks jersey on with the tag still on that said and had Falcon on the back. So he was he was gearing up.
The bandwagon is where true fans are made, so don't judge them too quickly. You know,
brother.
Everyone has to jump on the bandwagon at some point. You know.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Matt, closing comments while we still have you. The Canucks are one win away from the Western Conference Final. I don't want to. The work is not done by any means whatsoever.
No.
But please tell me how fun it would be for us in our Canucks jerseys and our bathing suits to be sitting at a pool party in Vegas on the 1st of June, potentially watching a Vancouver Canucks playoff game.
That would be just incredible. You know, whether it's Dallas or Colorado, you know, I would be absolutely elated for that to happen. And, you know, we're one win away. And before this series began, I said Canucks in 6. It's in writing. It's in the group chat that we're both in. It's there.
I said it too.
Let's go. Everyone said it.
Everybody said Canucks in 6.
Wise people on this podcast. Maybe that's why I listen so regularly.
All right, Matt. We'll let you go for the night. Always love hearing from you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Why am I on the big screen? Fuck you.
Okay, let me fix that.
Good.
There we go. All right, Matt. Talk to you later, dude.
See ya. Appreciate y'all.
Okay. Let's just go to the.
I thought the Generals were due.
Hey, work's not done yet. The work is not done yet. We got time for another caller here, and if somebody wants to join us.
Oh man.
So yeah, Arash, I want
wild,
you.
Ryan.
I want
Saturday's gonna be wild.
I mean, you're gonna be stressed out like a motherfucker.
I'm gonna be stressed out. Yeah, it's gonna be a little rough. I'm gonna have to figure out how do I get to the alley. You know, I'm gonna have to live there now. It's definitely a thing. Like the Stanley Cup final during your wedding. I've morphed this into reality now, so I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get myself out of this one.
Well, they have won games when you have not been in the alley, so I'm not too worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the phone lines. The host of Game Over Vancouver, Kaya. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Poli
Sorry.
Sci at SFU.
Oh, that's just because I took one poli sci class and the TA was sexist, so I dropped it.
Sick.
Good. Yeah, do that.
Good.
So I just don't F with poli sci at SFU anymore. But I don't know. Communications and history are cool.
They'll get you jobs.
Let me just say, SFU. I don't know.
Kai, you're just coming off talking about this game for 30, 35, 40 minutes too.
An hour.
An hour?
Can we win an hour?
Oh shit, it's an hour 18 minutes. Oh my god.
Jesus
these post-game
Christ.
shows, Arash, if they go to the West Final, we're gonna be doing these for like 2.5 hours, being like breaking down every single
we're just gonna I honestly, it throws me back to when like J-Pat and stuff did like the 2011 final, and they just be on 1040 for like 9 hours until 3 a.m. because just everyone needed to talk about it. So Ryan, oh god. So just to our partners, we apologize. We apologize to our partners. We're sorry we made this commitment. Here we go.
I just got a text coming in. He has to be a drivable distance to the alley in case of a tie, and then heart shape emoji with the hands. So that's fair, and you have to be doing that. Kai, what's your how you feeling after Game 5? Who is your favorite Canuck in game numero 5?
Phil Giuseppe.
Oh
yeah, 100%.
Beauty. Inarticulate Italian noises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolute beauty. I think he had a strong night. I think the entire fourth line was just absolutely amazing. Arturs Silovs, again, absolutely amazing. But give it up to the Oilers defense core for really contributing to the Canucks tonight. I think that was really nice of them. Evan Bouchard, thank you so much. You're definitely winning the who's the better Canucks defenseman. Anyway, I think that the anomaly of the night was that the Canucks were able to fend off the Edmonton Oilers power play. At the same, I don't think that's going to last for Game 6. If it does, then that's a whole other issue. But I don't know. They're a good road team. At the same time, it's gone back and forth this entire series. And for entertainment purposes, it would be hilarious if it went to 7, because this is the most chaotic series, I think. And Florida-Boston exists, and whatever happened in Game 6 with the Rangers and Canes today exists. So, and by whatever happens, I mean just Chris Kreider's existence. I think for Game 6 that I hope they don't change the lineup. Please don't bring back Mikheyev or Lafferty with a 10-foot pole. That's just
no. God.
No, just no. That's the only thing I could say is just no. Just overall with the Canucks, I don't know what else to say. Back and forth. I mean, whoever wins this series is gonna get absolutely rocked in the conference finals. So
no question.
No question. I've accepted that. If we get to the Western Conference Finals, it's my Stanley Cup. I don't
Of course.
care. Getting whoever is going to get swept by Dallas, and only Dallas, Am I wrong?
I mean, that team's. Colorado's falling apart real fast, real quick.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, if the Canucks win a single game in the third round, I'd be too completely happy about it.
Yeah. A gentleman's sweep.
I had them penned as a wild card 2 team that like barely squeaks into the playoffs. Had no clue they were going to be here by now. I think that the Canucks will have a solid game. Will they win? Who knows? I'd like it for them to not win, though, personally, because I will not be in the country to celebrate it, and I feel like it would be really weird if I'm just walking the streets of Seattle screaming at the top of my lungs. But you know what?
You're in Seattle this weekend?
I'm in Seattle this weekend.
What are you doing?
Baby.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's a derby weekend, so going down. But
nice. Fuck those Sounders, right?
Yeah. It's Cascadia Cup. No. Yeah, no, and then our entire group chat were like coordinating once the game 6 time dropped. We're all like, okay, 5 p.m. start time. We have time to watch it at the bar before we head to Lumen Field. Like, it was just a bunch of like teenagers and 20-somethings trying to figure out the schedule of how to watch as many sport ball as can.
I absolutely love this feeling, and this is something that we used to kind of feel all the time, which was life shuts down during the playoffs, and social plans are just like absolutely destroyed, and you're like, I'll make plans, but I really hope they happen on an off night, because if it happens on a game night, you do not have me mentally or socially. But it's nice to have this insane distraction and everybody involved. And like, I was watching the news today because I'm old, and it was like story number 3 is like Chris Galis being like, the Canucks made the following changes to their offensive lines. How do we think they're going to, I'm like, shouldn't you be talking about some sort of like, housing crisis or an opioid crisis? But no, you are the regular newscast and you're telling me about the line changes, and hell, I'm going to listen to them.
Unironically, there will be proms ruined with this cup run, I think is a hilarious sentence, because honestly, as a person who graduated high school in 2020, I don't feel bad.
Oh, fuck, I'm sorry.
My dress is still in the closet somewhere, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm completely over it.
Hey, you're gonna go to prom one of these days. We're gonna get you to that prom.
We're gonna throw you a prom.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal if I just show up at a prom.
Oh yeah, you can't go to a school. You gotta sign in.
No.
You gotta.
I mean, I did have to walk into my sister's school one day to put something in her locker, and no one questioned it. So.
I'm not gonna lie. You look. It's very difficult to tell you how old you are or aren't, or how old you look.
Yeah, very, very true. But I was getting some weird looks from some people, but most of the time I just kept walking straight on, and I still remembered how to open a locker. So I think I still got it.
Like that, she still got it, baby.
Ryan, do you still remember your lock code for high school?
No, I had I had a new one every year, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Same here.
Yeah.
I remember my locker number for grade 12, but that was because I signed in right when the locker selection time was, so I could get a specific number, because it was Finn's stormtrooper number in Star Wars.
Oh God.
So I specifically tried to get locker 2187, and I used it twice.
Nice.
That's it.
I love it. Okay, before you go, what is going to happen? What do you think's going to happen in Game 6?
Cody Ceci hat trick. That's what I told Avery after the show. I think it would just be very funny to top it off. Cody Ceci hat trick and the Oilers lose in OT. Nice. I think that would be hilarious.
A sudden heartbreak for an old 97 and 29 as they try to figure out their life. For another off season. I like that.
I feel like it's late for them to have a mid-career crisis, though. Or does that peak at 30 for hockey players?
Well, for hockey players, for grown-ass men, I don't know.
Yeah,
did we peak at 30?
Well, no, just the mid.
Thanks, Kaya.
About that, yeah. 2017, yeah, I'd say. Well, 2018 was my best year. Yeah,
I peaked in 2010, so like.
Hey,
Were you like
hey,
I was
you're gonna be
7.
our
Thank
boss.
you.
You're gonna be our boss one day. Don't talk like that. I'll be working for you.
All right, Kaya, I love your Cody Cece prediction. We'll let you go into the night, and hopefully we see you for the next game and enjoy Seattle this weekend.
See ya, brother.
Take it easy. Oh, that was
She even
awesome.
dropped a brother.
Hell
She's
yeah,
a,
brother.
She's a hell yeah, brother. Let me tell you, man.
You know what? We're gonna wrap up pretty quick.
Yeah, it's an
'cause
hour
we've
and a
been
half show. Look at us go.
You know who I really like tonight for Edmonton, and this is not a bullshit. I really noticed and thought Warren Fogle McLovin had a good game and looked really good and noticeable out there tonight.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a weird little series, and he's been on the Oilers non-playoff radar for the last few seasons from Oilers fans. But yeah, 20 goal season and everything looked good. But I'm not gonna say anything about Leon Draisaitl. I'm not gonna say anything about Connor McDavid. Not gonna. Great players.
One thing I really liked about, I like the shit disturbing that Leon's doing. In Game 4, when JT Miller took that penalty that Leon wound up scoring on, as Miller skated back to the Canucks bench, Draisaitl's going for the high fives, and he actually gave Miller a tap or a hey, how about that or something. And
No, it was Joshua.
Oh, it was Josh. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we thought it was Miller because he was coming out of the penalty box, but it was Dakota Joshua.
Huh.
How about that? Game 6, Ryan, Saturday. We'll chat.
I'm very excited about Game 6. In my time as a Canucks fan, I'm trying to remember times. Obviously, 2011 was a thing, but whatever. That's an anomaly.
We're okay. We're done. It doesn't even matter.
Life does. No, I'm just trying to think of my experiences with Game 6 is going when the Canucks are up 3-2. I don't know a lot of them.
Was the game 3-2?
Minnesota.
Well, I mean, Canucks weren't up 3-2, but it was 0-4 with Calgary and Vancouver, and Brendan Morrison in Game 6 scored in overtime.
Yeah, but them going into a Game 6 up 3-2, I can remember
3-2.
Minnesota, and I think that's it that really comes off the top of my head. So it's a bit of uncharted territory. So I'm really excited for Game 6. Really excited. I love what we happened tonight. Can't wait to look at my phone for 30 minutes and just come down from this high. But again, to wrap it up, the Canucks defeat the Edmonton Oilers 3-2 in Game 5. They lead the series 3-2. Carson Soucy with a great goal and a dumb guy moment. Phil DiGiuseppe, the new dad, and of course JT Miller, the fan favorite, the greatest thing that Jim Benning ever did. Got your GWG with under a minute to go in the third. Shots on goal, Vancouver 35, Edmonton 23. We'll be back for Game 6 for the Prince of Pomegranate and Arash and Mars today. My name is Ryan Schapp. I appreciate everybody that joined us tonight and ever has joined us this entire run. It's time to cue up that dirty, sexy, sassy saxophone. Have a good night.